Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. This time, we're all about finding some really creative marketing strategies for home health, hospice, and private duty agencies, specifically for May. So get this, we've got this presentation.
Okay.
It's got week-by-week ideas for marketing.
Nice.
And we're going to break it all down into actionable insights you can use right away.
Sounds great. Like a marketing roadmap.
Exactly.
Perfectly timed,
Yeah.
for May.
It's like they knew what they were doing when they put this presentation together.
Right.
And what I think is really cool is how this presentation taps into what's already happening in May.
Oh, okay.
National Health Observances.
Oh, cool.
So think of it as it's like a built-in theme for each week of your marketing.
Makes sense. It's smart.
Yeah, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you want to do a marketing campaign.
Right.
You can just grab on to what's already happening.
Use that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, for example, week 18 is Asthma and Allergy Awareness Month.
Oh, okay.
And this presentation, it suggests partnering with organizations like the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America, the AAFA.
The AFA.
For sure.
Gotcha.
And that's a great way to just, get their expertise.
Tap into their resources.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, they even have this EPA-sponsored planning kit. It's full of ideas. It's like a marketing starter kit.
Oh, wow.
And if that wasn't enough, they also point to World Asthma Day activities.
Oh, cool.
Which you can find on Geneva.com. Lots of resources there, too.
Okay, so now we've got all these resources, but how do we actually use them?
Well, this presentation is all about collaboration. So think about teaming up with local allergists.
Okay.
For World Asthma Day. Get the media involved.
Okay.
Share the latest information about asthma in your area.
I like that. Getting media coverage is always good.
Always good.
So, and what about bringing it to the community level?
Yeah, they suggest hosting health fairs.
Yeah.
Maybe at a high school or a hospital.
Oh, nice.
And you could provide information on asthma management. Identify those pesky indoor triggers. And even, get some local businesses to sponsor giveaways.
Oh, I love that. Get people involved.
Yeah.
Showcase your agency's expertise. Brilliant.
It is.
Yeah.
And then there's this really creative idea in here, too, a tag-along presentation.
A tag-along. Okay.
Yeah, you partner with a respiratory therapist and go to a long-term care facility. It's a chance to really demonstrate, the benefits of respiratory therapy.
Yeah.
And build those relationships.
Oh, yeah.
With potential referral sources. All at the same time.
Win-win for everybody involved.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of win-wins, Week 19 focuses on National High Blood Pressure Education Month. And I just love how this presentation uses health screenings as a marketing tool.
Right. It's brilliant. Not only can you attract new patients,
right,
but you can also strengthen those relationships with referral sources.
Yeah.
Like general practitioners.
Yeah, totally. And it's not just about the screenings themselves. It's about the information you provide. This presentation mentions the Mission Possible campaign, which you can use their materials or even find facts on the CDC website. Create your own flyers to distribute.
Get the information out there.
Yeah. And here's a fun one.
Oh, okay.
Partnering with local newspapers for a community flea market.
Oh, I love that.
Who doesn't love a flea market?
Exactly.
It's such a unique way to get your agency's name out there in a casual, fun setting.
He's just thinking outside the box,
right.
And while we're at it, why not target civic groups?
Yeah.
I mean, this presentation specifically mentioned the Civitan and Lions clubs. It's like the perfect audience for those health screenings and presentations.
Definitely. Now, Week 20 shifts gears a bit. It's Older Americans Month. It's a time to celebrate seniors and their contributions. And I love how they suggest a My Recipe for Strength contest. What a heartwarming idea.
Right.
Imagine seniors sharing their stories.
Their favorite healthy habits.
Their secrets to longevity.
Yeah.
It's engaging, it's personal, and it positions your agency as a champion for positive aging.
I love it.
Plus, you can even involve local newspapers and get some feel-good media coverage.
Absolutely, yeah.
And while we're talking about reaching seniors, this presentation emphasizes the importance of, tailoring your efforts to their interests.
For sure.
So what do they like?
Well, how about hosting a seniors ball?
Okay.
With big band music at the local VFW.
Oh.
It's charming. It's nostalgic. It's sure to be a hit.
I love it.
With seniors who love to dance and socialize.
Yes. It's about creating an experience that feels relevant
Yeah,
and enjoyable to them.
exactly.
They also mention an essay contest
Oh, fun.
on my favorite older person, which I think is such a sweet way to connect with clients and their families.
It is. It really taps into that emotional side
All
of
right.
caregiving,
Yeah.
and celebrates those special intergenerational bonds.
I love it. Okay, get ready to energize because week 21 is all about National Senior Health and Fitness Day.
Okay, I'm ready.
And this is a prime opportunity to position your agency as a leader in health and wellness for seniors.
Uh-huh.
So think sponsorships, activities, anything that gets your name out there associated with active aging.
Right.
I love how this presentation encourages us to think big here. You could organize a senior fitness walk, offer activity classes at residential communities, or even partner with organizations like Silver Sneakers,
Oh, yeah.
which focuses on senior fitness programs.
They do. And here's another example of those strategic partnerships. Why not team up with a local orthopedist
Okay.
and host discussions on senior fitness?
Maybe at churches or
Yeah,
community centers.
exactly. It's a great way to, combine expertise and community outreach,
Yeah.
reaching seniors where they already gather,
I love it.
right? But before we move on, I have to point out, May is packed with other health observances, too.
Yeah.
We're talking ALS Awareness Month, National Stroke Awareness Month, you name it.
Oh, it's true. It's true. So while it's tempting to try to do it all, the real key is to choose the observances that align with your agency's strengths and your target audience. You don't want to spread yourself too thin.
Exactly. Be strategic.
Yeah.
Focus on what makes the most sense,
Yeah. Yeah.
for your agency
Yeah.
and your community.
Mhm.
Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about something this presentation calls targeted marketing, specifically when it comes to referral sources,
Okay.
like general practitioners
Okay.
and specialty physicians.
Gotcha.
It's all about building those relationships.
Right.
And here's the interesting part, providing value-added services.
Okay. Like what?
Okay, so one simple yet effective idea is to help physicians who are accepting new patients
Okay.
by distributing their business cards to your clients
Ooh.
and families
Oh, that's a good
who
idea.
might need those services.
Yeah.
So it's such a thoughtful gesture. It shows you're invested in their success
Mm-hmm.
and, willing to go the extra mile.
Right.
And here's the brilliant part. You're not just being nice.
Right.
You're also subtly demonstrating the value
Right.
your agency brings to the physician's practice.
Okay. That's smart.
Plus, it gives you a natural way to track referrals
Yeah.
and see the impact of your efforts.
Okay. That's really smart. Now, let's turn our attention to hospice care for a moment.
Okay.
This presentation talks about targeting underserved markets,
Okay.
specifically bringing hospice care into prisons.
Wow.
It's a niche market for sure, but one with a growing need. Think about it. There are over 1.8 million people incarcerated in the United States.
Yeah. And that number, it's been steadily increasing.
Right. And access to quality hospice care within the correctional system is often limited. This presentation highlights some of the unique challenges of this setting, including the strict security protocols, the stigma surrounding hospice care, and, navigating the often complex bureaucracy of the prison system.
Right, right. It's definitely not easy, but it is an opportunity to make a real difference in the lives of a vulnerable population.
I agree. And for agencies looking to explore this market, this presentation recommends connecting with the National Prison Hospice Association.
Oh, okay.
They have connections across the country, can provide guidance on best practices, and can connect you with other professionals in the field.
Wow. That's a really valuable resource.
It is, if you're considering venturing into this specialized area of care.
Makes sense.
Okay, last but not least, we have private duty home care. And how do you stand out in this crowded market? Well, this presentation suggests focusing on disease management.
Okay.
It's about becoming the go-to expert for specific conditions. So by tailoring your services to meet the unique needs of clients with chronic conditions, you're showcasing your expertise and commitment to individualized care.
I see. Yeah.
They even give an example of a specialty service brief for post-stroke clients.
Okay.
You're not just listing services, you're painting a picture of how you understand the challenges of stroke recovery.
Right.
And how you can help.
Yeah, things like direct supervision of daily activities, transfer assistance for patients with paralysis, support with feedings if swallowing is difficult,
Right.
mobility assistance to prevent falls,
Yeah.
and, of course, emotional support.
Of course.
It's a comprehensive approach. It shows potential referral sources and clients that you've got this.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this first part of our deep dive, I think the biggest takeaway is this. Successful marketing for home health, hospice, and private duty care is a blend of creativity, strategic partnerships, and a deep understanding of your target audience.
Totally agree. And we've just scratched the surface.
I know, right?
Stay tuned as we unpack even more insights and actionable strategies in the next part of our deep dive.
We'll be right back.
It's not just about, like, promoting your own services,
Yeah,
you know? It's about helping physicians and other healthcare providers succeed.
right. Yeah, like you're both on the same team,
Exactly.
working towards that shared goal
Yeah.
of providing excellent patient care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And by offering these value-added services,
Right,
like distributing those business cards,
right.
you're kind of signaling that you're invested in their success too.
It's subtle, but powerful
Yeah,
for building those relationships.
totally.
This presentation is full of these little practical tips
Yeah.
that I feel like any agency could implement,
Right.
regardless of budget.
Exactly. Like, I never would have thought about that, you know,
Yeah.
just handing out business cards.
Yeah.
But it makes so much sense.
Right. It's those little things that make the biggest difference.
Totally.
Shows you're paying attention,
Oh,
that
totally.
you're resourceful,
Yeah.
and you're willing to go that extra mile.
Speaking of going the extra mile,
Yeah.
another thing that stood out to me was how this presentation emphasized tailoring your marketing to specific disease processes.
Right.
Like, it's a really smart way to differentiate your agency
Yeah.
and showcase your expertise.
Right. Like that post-stroke service brief.
Exactly.
It's not just listing services.
Right. It's a demonstration that you understand the challenges
Yeah.
that stroke patients face.
Right.
And that you have the skills to address them.
Absolutely. It's about conveying that deep understanding of the condition
Yes.
and a commitment to providing specialized care.
Exactly.
It's about being that trusted resource.
Yes.
If we kind of connect this back to the bigger picture,
Okay.
this highlights how important it is to stay on top of industry trends and evolving healthcare needs.
For sure.
Because the more you understand about the specific challenges facing your target audience, the better equipped you'll be to tailor your marketing
Yeah.
and provide truly valuable services.
It's like you're not just staying afloat.
Right.
You're staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah, anticipating those needs.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And I think this presentation gives us some excellent examples of how agencies can do that.
Yeah. So as we start to wrap up our deep dive into these May marketing ideas,
Okay.
what are some key takeaways our listeners should keep in mind?
Well, I think the biggest one is that successful marketing in this field is all about creativity,
Okay.
strategic partnerships,
Uh-huh.
and building genuine relationships.
It's about understanding your audience,
Yes.
anticipating those needs,
Uh-huh.
and finding those ways to add value.
Exactly. And I think this presentation really provides a roadmap for doing that.
Yes.
It encourages agencies to think outside the box,
Yes.
tap into those national health observances,
Right.
and tailor their services
Yeah.
to meet those needs.
It's not just about promoting your services. It's about building that network and
Yeah.
becoming a resource.
Exactly.
I think what really stood out to me was the emphasis on personalization,
Yes.
building genuine relationships. It's not just broadcasting a message to the masses.
Right.
It's about connecting with individuals
Yeah.
and making them feel seen and heard.
Absolutely. Which
Right.
is so important in healthcare.
I think so too.
When you can do that successfully,
Yeah.
it's more than just marketing.
Yeah.
You're building a community
Right.
of trust and support.
It's all about making a positive impact.
Exactly. And that's something that every home health, hospice, and private duty home care agency can strive for.
Okay. So as we move towards our final thoughts,
Okay.
what's one small step our listener can take today to put these ideas into practice?
You know, I think one of the easiest things they can do
Okay.
is to reach out to a referral source
Okay.
and offer a value-added service.
Okay.
It could be as simple as distributing their business cards,
Right.
or maybe brainstorming ways to collaborate on a community event.
Yeah.
It's a small gesture,
Uh-huh.
but it goes a long way.
Right. It shows a willingness to collaborate.
Exactly. It's a great way to start putting these ideas into practice.
I love it. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to encourage our listeners to think about which of these May marketing ideas resonates most with them.
Yeah. Which one sparked your creativity?
Right.
Which one felt most aligned with your agency's mission
Yeah.
and values?
And most importantly,
Yeah.
which one are you excited to put into action?
Because that's where the real magic happens.
Yeah.
When you take inspiration and turn it into action.
Absolutely. So don't
Right.
be afraid to experiment,
Try new things.
see what works.
Exactly. And as you embark on your marketing journey, remember that we're here to support you every step of the way.
Absolutely. We've got tons of resources on our website,
We do.
including links to all the organizations and websites mentioned in this episode.
Yes. And we're always here to answer your questions
Right.
and provide guidance.
So don't hesitate to reach out. We're excited to see what you create
Yes.
and the impact you make.
In your community.
Okay.
Before we wrap up this episode,
I want to leave our listener with one final thought-provoking question.
right.
We talked a lot about marketing strategies for May,
Right.
but what about the rest of the year?
That's a great point.
It's important to have a plan in place.
Yes.
So the question is,
Okay.
what's one marketing strategy you can implement
Uh-huh.
in the coming months
Okay.
that will help you build momentum
Yeah.
and achieve your goals for the year ahead?
Think about your audience, your strengths, and those unique needs of your community.
What can you do to stand out and make a lasting impact?
We encourage you to brainstorm,
Mm.
explore new possibilities. Don't be afraid to get creative.
Yeah, because the most successful marketing campaigns are the ones that are infused with passion,
Yes.
authenticity, and a genuine desire to make a difference.
Couldn't agree more.
We can't wait to see what you come up with. We covered a lot of ground, huh?
We did.
From national health observances to niche markets,
Yeah.
even disease-specific strategies. It's inspiring.
It is.
Oh.
And I think what's really cool is that it's not just about getting your name out there. It's about those genuine connections.
Right, building trust.
Exactly. Understanding your audience and their needs, and then, creatively finding ways to meet them.
Yeah, and showcase your expertise at the same time.
Exactly. That's why this presentation is so helpful.
It really is. It's a framework, whether you're a marketing expert.
Right.
Or just starting out.
Yeah. It's like a toolbox
Yeah.
full of strategies.
You can pick and choose what works for you. Adapt them to fit your agency.
Absolutely. And the key is, don't be afraid to experiment.
Try new things. See what works.
Exactly.
And most importantly, have fun with it.
Yes.
Marketing doesn't have to be a chore.
Right.
It's an opportunity to connect with your community.
I couldn't agree more.
Mhm.
And remember, we're here to support you
Always.
on your marketing journey. So reach out
Anytime.
with any questions.
Or if you need some inspiration, we're excited to see what you create and the impact you make.
In your community. So go out there and make May your most successful marketing month yet.
That's right. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
Until next time.